you're looking over here, and really I'm over here, but I've already done it.
Telling me this. This is a stage magician. Like, of course it's not as it seems.
What a magician is telling you is absolutely not what's going on. Taking that pause and thinking about it, it's called critical thinking.
So in terms, I'm guessing that these things could be used to deceive us in certain ways. Would that be correct?
I would think they are on a daily basis. Yeah, certainly in the entertainment that I worked in as a magician. Yes, there are. One of the things that I used to do a long time ago was I noticed that all 10-pence coins in England, they reminted the 10-pence coin in the year 1992 and made it slightly smaller. I guess the old coin was costing more than 10-pence in metal, and so they made the coin smaller. And they obviously minted so many 10-pence coins in 1992 that they didn't need to make any more coins for over a decade. So every coin had the same date on it for a long time. So one of the things I would do is to go in my back garden and set up my workbench and get some gaffer tape and some tissue paper and wrap it around a coin, put it into the workbench, take a big lump hammer, sledgehammer kind of thing, and bend the coin with a single whack. just ever so slightly bend the coin like this. Without leaving any marks because of the tissue paper and stuff, and put it in my pocket. Then I would be at an event and I'd have done maybe a couple of close-up pieces, and I would say to somebody, have you got some coins? Have you got a pocket full of coins? Can you pull out a coin? Any coin really, something like a 10-pence. And so when the hand comes up, well, first of all, I'm really directing their attention there. Their hand has come out with the coins, any coin, it doesn't matter, something like a 10-pence. 9 times out of 10, they pulled out a 10-pence. Of course, I knew what the date was on that coin. I would have them look at the coin.
You wouldn't be influencing them there, though, would you? Really?
Well, of course not. No. Of course not. No. People, they would pull out the 10-pence coin, and I'd have them look at the date of the coin. This comes in useful in a moment. I would have them look at the date on the coin, and I would. For a process of my best acting, pull the number from their mind, which of course is a calibration skill, which you can do. There are all sorts of things called contact muscle reading, where you can notice numbers and things, but also poker players read tells and are able to. But cold reading is a skill, but hot reading is a lot easier. And hot reading is when you already know the answer. So I already knew. So cold reading is when you don't know, but you ask leading questions and you see the person nod. Yes, that is my. There was somebody in the family who died recently. Yes, and they did have a trouble with their knee, and you lead and you pick up on signals. This is called cold reading. Hot reading is a lot easier, and that's also used in other areas of people who maybe influence. People in certain ways to send them money at rallies and events and things. So I would know this is for fun. I would know what the coin date was, so 1992. And by my best acting, I would wow, they were shocked. I'd say, can I see the coin? Yeah, 1992. And switch the coin with a one-handed switch. So no messing around with it. Just switch the coin with a one-handed switch. Are you right or left-handed? Hold it tight in your right hand. And they would hold the coin right in their left hand, and their right hand, I would have them hold it out like this. And then it's more of the good acting. I would look at, I'd be like this between the hands. And I'd look at them in the eye. Tell me when you feel it, which of course is a presupposition that they're going to feel something. But tell me when you feel it. And I'll be doing this. Don't leave it too long though. Ooh. The response, don't leave it too long. Oh, what might happen? The response from the people with their hand like here varied from, oh my gosh, it's getting so hot, I can't hold it. I literally can't hold it. It's getting freezing. I can feel it moving. It's moving inside my hand. It's getting burning cold. I've got to drop it. And of course, I've switched the coin for a bent coin, but it's not getting hot. It's not getting cold. It's not moving. It's not wiggling. And a phrase like, tell me when you feel it. Don't leave it too long. These are presuppositions that things are going to happen. And what happened if I leave it too long? Yeah, I can really feel it happening. And people would feel the movement of the coin bending inside their hand. Wow. And I think they would swear that they felt it. It burnt hot. They had to release it.
I think on another episode we'll do one on presuppositions, because that's one of my favorites. When we want to guard against the deception. So what is it that we do if people don't want to be fooled by your trick, John? So how would they be able to filter that information in a way that they could stop you from fooling them? How would we do that?
Do you know, very, very rarely and very occasionally, and I performed thousands of close-up events. I added up how many people I'd individually performed to once. And very, very, very occasionally somebody would say, I don't like magic. And I would say to them, oh no, I'm not doing, I'm just doing close-up. Just card tricks, sleight of hand. I'm doing. I'm not doing magic tricks or anything. I'm just doing sleight of hand. And I would just reframe what I was up to. And that's then they were in, and I was doing the same thing that I would have done anyway, but I'd just given them a different way of looking at it. And that's part of it, is that you're looking over here, and really I'm over here, but I've already done it, and it happened here, but it happened over here a few minutes ago, and now I'm just telling you the story over here. So within the context, within the magic, largely what a magician is telling you is absolutely not what's going on. Absolutely not what's going on at all. It's normally a lot simpler. I mean, some of the card moves may require a ridiculous amount of hours of practice to, like a guitar player or a pianist, practice their scales. But oftentimes things are a lot simpler. Children were the best. I know he's got a photocopier in his pocket, because of course that's a logical answer. That's how he made the card with the signed name on it reappear in a different location. Of course, there aren't small photocopiers like that, but having that mind open to, you're not necessarily right. One of the things a friend of mine is often says is, don't make a decision based in fear. Don't make a sudden decision based out of fear. It's that emotion thing again. So it caught up in an emotion, and then you're down a certain reality tunnel, a certain point of view, and to be able to pause, to back up and think that, well, it might be like this, but also it might be like this. Detectives deduce things. They have deductive reasoning. They will, well, this happened and this, and it must, and they will lead down a certain track. And I have a friend who is very, very, very persuasive in the way he talks. And just the other week, he admitted to me on a certain subject that he now has the complete opposite point of view on. So a really big subject that he has just changed his whole point of view on. And he said to me, the amount of people in the past that I have convinced that this is right, and now I don't believe it's right because of his persuasive opinion. Keeping an open mind, belief is the death of intelligence, which of course
I've found often that as a friend of mine as well, who she's very good at just saying, hang on a minute, like let's look at this from like different angles, and that's it, just hang on, it's taking that pause, isn't it, and they gather more information. I love that term, gathering information. Just Yeah. Hang on a minute. Like, who's telling me this? This is a stage magician. Like, of course it's not as it seems.
Yeah. This is a salesman. Of course his product is the best product. This is a politician who wants you to vote for him. Of course his party is the best party. This is absolutely. And taking that pause and thinking about it's called critical thinking, I believe. Is it not, right?
I think we've lost a bit of that recently.
Yeah, and again, it's that emotion-based, that fear-based sort of, oh no, if I don't do such and such, this will happen. Terrible thing will happen. Business won't this or that won't happen, or I'll lose this. And taking a pause, and thinking, who, like you just said, who's presenting this information? Well, it's a salesman who wants a £30,000 contract. Is he going to suggest somebody else is better or another product is better? Of course not. So it's up to me then, and of course we do this when we think about buying a new phone or new computer, television or car. Or oftentimes we'll research into is this one better? And we will do our critical thinking in certain areas, like when you're being entertained by a magician or entertained by an entertainer or salesman or anyone putting a point of view in front of you. It's their point of view. Doesn't mean it's real. It might serve you well to believe that point of view. We just had a power cut and the modem just went down halfway through this interview. And when I first started coming to Go over 10 years ago, having transitioned onto an online, being able to earn a lot of my money online, having no internet, trying to run a business based on the internet was a problem that caused me to pull my hair out if I chose to. But very quickly, I took the approach of, do you know what? It's just the universe telling me to not do any more work now. Go to the beach. It's a beautiful sunny day and take a stroll on the beach and relax. Now, is it really a sign from the universe? Who knows? Who cares? Going for a stroll on the beach is much healthier and better for me than tearing my hair out and stressing about it. So having a perspective, having a point of view, they can be useful. They don't necessarily have to be true. They don't necessarily have to be true or useful.
I often say to people, it's useful to, whatever you believe, basically you can believe anything you want. And there's good arguments for every belief you have, really, because none of it's true, really. It's whatever you believe is true. So choose the best one. Choose whatever's the most useful to you. And that, for a lot of people, is it is a crazy idea, but really that's the only way to be, is it not?
A crazy notion. I was on the beach with my wife a little while ago, and we were looking at those microlights flying in the sky, those little wings with a lawnmower engine and a big fan up in the sky. And Eloise was like, "You'd never get me up in one of those. They're not safe. That could fall out of the sky at any time."
Of course.
Of course. I've flown airplanes, small little 2-seater airplanes and gliders, and I've done a lot of things like that, and that's not just going to fall out of the sky. Well, I mean, it might do, but it's not likely to fall out of the sky. And I explained how, well, if the engine cut out, it's a hang glider basically, and hang gliders would glide down. And why won't you get in the sea then? Well, there are sharks in the sea; they could gobble me up and eat me. And you're not getting in the sea. The likelihood of there being a shark there? No, I don't. And the little conversation between it, but this is highly unlikely to fall out of the sky. It's highly unlikely that you're going to be eaten by a shark in the sea. Yeah, but the seas. And I could completely justify why, well, there is a chance that I could have my leg removed by a shark in an unpleasant fashion. I'm not going any deeper than paddling. Thank you very much. There's a nice swimming pool there. And she could supply all of the evidence possibly needed why that thing the wings could just a freak thing, a blurred, a thing, so that, the other, a gust of wind, out at sea, the petrol runs out. What the thinker thinks, the prover proves. If you think it and believe it, it's true, and it can be true for you, and that means
that's because you find all the information that backs that up.
Yeah, which means against all odds, you start a multi-million-dollar company in a niche that you should never have been able to do it, and you do it and are phenomenally successful because you didn't know any better. Or you limit yourself and don't have a wonderful experience. So if it's a useful belief, it's a useful belief. Take a pause and look at the information.
What was that? As a Zen saying, isn't it? Who is the master that makes the grass green? Is that, have you heard that one before? I think Robert Anton Wilson used to use that quite a lot. Like, who is the master that makes the grass green? Well, it's you, but it takes a lot of people like years to work that out. It's your perceptions that actually produce the green grass. So this is why perception is so important. So I think on that note, John, we will wind that up there. It's a perfect place to stop. So I think what we'll do in the future, we'll have another few conversations, maybe around things like presuppositions, and again, ways you can use language in the best way to help yourself and improve your life, obviously. Yeah. Right. So thanks very much for that, John. Again, we'll speak to you soon. Cheers.
Thanks, Bye.